Okay, so we're going to demonstrate the columns and we're going to use the index page for this, okay? So I'll close these windows down for the moment and save that. I'm just going to open up the index page. That's the only thing I need open at the moment, okay? Now let me just preview this. Okay, maybe I won't use that one. Right, what I will do, what I'll do for this is I'm going to add a page 3 on here, okay? So I'm going to copy that and paste in another link, alright? And I'll just call this calls, cols.html, and call that a column. Okay. So save my index page, and I've put this link in, alright? And then I'm going to go to File and save as calls.html. Alright, so okay, calls.html. Okay. Okay. Now, see, I've got my line that says HR and welcome to our social network. You see that? I'm going to take that out, okay? And I am just going to put in a new div. I'll say div ID equals calls. All right. Couple of blank lines, and then end of calls. All right. So we'll do this with 3 columns, right? And I will say, now again, there's a few ways to do this. This wouldn't necessarily be the way I would do it if I was doing it normally, but just for demonstration, I'll do it like this. So I'll say div ID equals left. Okay. I'll just say left in there like that. And then div ID equals right. Sorry. Middle. And then div ID equals left. Right, sorry. Good grief. Right. Okay. And I'm going to save that. And preview running application. And what I'll do is I'll click on calls. And you'll see it looks left, middle, and right. Like that. So it doesn't look right. Okay. And what I need to do is format this and get it to behave in a way that it suggests it's columns. So in the, have we all got there? Yeah. Right. So the next thing I'm going to work with is just the style sheet. Right. Now, just for point of note, I've got left, middle, and right. That's the 3 things I'm interested in here. So I'm going to open up style.css right down to the bottom, and I will say hash left and create one underneath for hash middle and one for hash right. Now, like I say, there's a quicker way of doing this, right? But I'm not gonna cut corners when I'm doing this. What's that? No, you don't see the divs because we've not styled them at all yet. Did you type in the names? Right, did you do Control F5? Right, I'll see you in a minute. So, left, the first thing I'm going to do is change the colours of these. So, background colour, right? So, I'll make left. I'll make it FF0000. And I'll just copy that line of code and stick it in the middle. And make that 00 FF00. And then I'll make the last one 0000 FF. Okay? And then refresh our page and go to columns. And there it is there. All right. And what you'll notice if I pop that out there is it takes up all of the available space because I've not controlled the width, and it automatically kicks it onto the next line. Yeah. So what I need to do here is control the width of these. Now, as we said, if it's 100%, 33 is a good number. But we're going to add in margins and we're going to add in padding and so on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say width. And I will say 25%, all right? And I'm going to do that for each of them. Okay. And you'll see it should trim them. So you see now that it only takes up a quarter of the width of that div it's in, yeah? Should look something like that. If it's not working, do Control F5. Yeah, let's look at calls if it's not working. Calls.html. No. That's calls.html is a different file. And that's in the CSS. So at the moment, these are all stuck underneath. What we want to do is float these, and I'm going to float them all to the left-hand side because that becomes like a magnet. So if I say left and I put in float left, and then I'll paste that into the second one as well. So I'll only do the first two for a demo and then refresh it. And you see, 2 seconds, sorry, I'm going to columns. And you see now that left and middle are up beside each other, but right isn't. But if you go down and float that to the left as well, and refresh our page, that they're all stuck together. Now, there's another issue here, but we'll tackle that later on. So, you'll see now it's kind of outside the div, right? But there's a wee trick you can do to fix that. And we will. So left, middle, and right. Now, how can we improve that? How can we improve that? What do you mean move? Right. In terms of the width, right, what we want to do here is I'll say margin dash left on the left hand side, and we'll go 5%. And on the right one, I'll say margin dash right 5%. Now let's see what that does to it. So it nudges it along a wee bit, but it's still not perfect, right? That's because 5% plus 25 is 30. 25 is 55. Another 25 is 80. That's 85. So we're taking up 85%. So what I'm going to do here is I'll say margin dash left. It's 5%. And margin dash right. You could, but I want a wee bit of space between them all. You'll now see it spaced out a wee bit. See that? Now, it's not quite perfect, right? But you can mess about with it until you're happy with it. What I would probably do here is make the margins between the middle and the left and the right a wee bit bigger. And there, 10% and 10%. And you'll see it's gone too far now, see that? So it's nudged it down. You don't want that. So I'll go back about 8%. And you just mess about with it. Like I can say, usually I would have a model of these ready, but we're still not fixed it. So I'll go to 6 and 6 and see what that does. There we go. That looks okay. Well, it's up to you, right? You can. They are, but I'll fix that. I'll show you how you fix that later on, right? So, as I say, I'm not going to mess about with the colours because I've kept them different colours so you can see. You can see how it looks. Now, what I'm going to do here is back into my HTML document, and in here, see what I've got left. I'm going to take a new line and just put in a paragraph. This is some text that goes in the column, right? So that's in the left-hand column. And if you save that and refresh it, you'll see there that it nudges it down, and the height becomes automatic for whatever you've put in. So if I got that, see if I got that paragraph there, and copied and pasted it a few times inside the left column, what you'll see is that it automatically gives it the height. So as you can see, it's still straying outside the box model that I've built. So yeah, I'll show you how you fix that. One solution is that you don't use the box model when you're using columns, right? But I've went with it, so I need to be able to fix it. So I can put in a really strange wee fix for this in a form of a footer, right? So I can go into my HTML, and after I've done my 3 columns, after the end of columns, I'm just going to put in div id equals footer. Alright, I'll just say end of footer. Now, will I show you how you do the copyright sign? I may as well show you when I'm doing this. So say you want all content, and what I'll do is put in an and copy like that, friendface. And that's like the NBSP we used earlier. It's a special character. Okay. Alright, now, here's a problem. If I save that at this point, you'll see that friendface is kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere. See that there? Right? That's because it finds the first available space on the web page. So what I need to do is tell the footer that I want it to be clear on both sides. I don't want it to sit beside anything. So what I'll do is I'll go into my style sheet and say hash footer clear both. And what that does is it means nothing can sit beside it on the left and nothing can sit beside it on the right. And now you'll see that they sit. Now, obviously you can see that the colour of these backgrounds looks stupid, right? But if you just keep the same colour of the background as the background of the body, then it doesn't look daft. So I'm just going to remove the colours. If you change the, you should be able to just do colour. Colour would do it, right? So I'm just going to take the background colour off now. But I was only using them for demonstration purposes, and save it now and refresh. And now you've got your 3-column website. Okay, that's one way of doing it. There's several ways of doing it, but that allows you to put things in columns. Okay.